everyone here who is with us live. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. Hashtag live in the comments for us. We love having you here, showing up for yourselves and showing up for us. So appreciating. Very much. I appreciate it so much. We all do. And everyone here seeing this on the replay. Hashtag replay in the comment box. Tell us where you are signing in from, and also any aha moments that you have from the day after you've watched, and also any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have, so we can address them and also make them a part of the show, because this is healing in action, right? It's all the way live. And just because you see it on the replay does not mean that we are not addressing those as well, because life is the moment. We're living in the present moment, and healing occurs all the time. Everyone, welcome to our hostesses with the mostesses. Our sun goddess Deanna from Kansas, bringing her sunshine, her love, and her gang signs. No. That's a gang sign of peace. That's a gang sign of peace. She's bringing it. This is the right way to do it. To her tribe, her gang, her fam. Yes. Okay. And hashtag, look at that. Versatile. And our moon goddess, full of love for everyone, shining her light and answering the questions that you all want to hear about yourselves, coming from within her heart. And our human design goddess, our sister queen of beauty and wisdom, Christine Strong. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Have so many questions I've been battling about, but it's not all about me, right? No. I want it to be, but no. It's
yeah, but those questions are always great because they get started, and they're always helping somebody else too, right? It's never
right. There you go. It's not always about me.
Helping somebody else too. You're just asking the question.
There you go. I'm just a catalyst, and love to be the catalyst, because we all get to learn from that. And everybody, you know me. Hello. Universal teacher, here to spread some wisdom and learn herself, because being a good teacher is being a good student, and remembering that we're all students every day of our lives. That never stops. Life is about living and learning, right? Oh my goodness, how are you all doing? On our human design, excuse me, forgive me, give me a moment. And Luna, our goddess. See our moon child right there? Luna. Her ready. So I'm bringing you your light. So how are you all doing today? How's everyone?
Let me tell you, I did not say it was yesterday. I was definitely lost. I completely forgot about 2 calls. I don't know. I'm feeling like I was in a vortex. I don't know how anybody else is feeling, but that was definitely was me yesterday.
Look at these faces.
Yeah, I'm still in the vortex. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I'm not out yet.
Right.
I'm not out yet. It's nipping at my heels every time.
Yeah.
I'm out, I'm back in. I think I'm out, I'm back in. So we've been doing a dance like this the whole time. Yes.
Same.
Yeah. Heavy and deep.
That vortex is strong. It's very strong. Like, we went into like lunch, and before lunch, my guide sent me to take a spiritual bath. I went and did that. I went in the spiritual bath, and I was under the water, and the guys were like, "We gotta go." We ended up at lunchtime with you guys. After lunchtime with you guys, I was like, "Whoa, okay, different virtual, different world. Got it." We stepped out into like a healing pool. So that's probably what you're feeling, Christine, because we put all of our projects and all of the people that come into here with us, we put them into the same healing pool so that we can gain from all of it as well. Because we're knocking all this generational stuff for our family, so we're combining all of our energies to make it get through. So yeah, it was that powerful that you were in it.
It's strong.
I was there. I was like, where I need to be at all right now, but I'm somewhere. I'm somewhere, right? Like,
Oh boy. Remembering the rest. We have to remember the rest in the meantime. So we have our moments. I was put down yesterday, like, you have to go to rest. It's all right, go take a nap. That nap turned into 5 hours. I woke up and I was like, what? 9:40? What? It just took me. But the dreams I had were amazing. The messages, man, I've been charting a lot of dreams. Yeah, we need to have a show about that one day. Go back to the dream state again. Woo, it's been amazing. I'm like, oh, really? And that? Whoa, yes. So, yeah, I've been dimension jumping, portal hopping all through my dreams. So that was
I
something.
am so glad we have that power in our team.
Woo, my God.
Yeah.
My God. It's healing. It is so healing. It is so healing. And now as I understand them more, it's like, wow, it helps. Oh my goodness. Where were
I'm
we?
so glad we have him in our spiritual team. I'm glad that he's part of our spiritual team, because if not, we'll be going crazy.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. I had a talk with a spirit guide the other day. Actually, no, excuse me, a shaman the other day. And she told me, she said, and something I've been fighting with, you all know, my voice. I've been fighting with using it, setting my boundaries, and using my voice and feeling comfortable with things I have to do. And I do have to have a talk with my family soon. And I'm going through it, you all. Oh my goodness. And she said she could see a block. She said, and she touched it before I told her where it was at. She said, it's hurting. I said, yes, it's right here. Last week I thought I had a tumor. That's how much it hurt. I know I don't have one. Because if you do body scans, you know yourself, you know you don't have it. But it just like, whoa, it hurt so much. I thought a growth was there. And I kept having to check it. So I looked up my human design chart, and I was reading about the gates and why that is difficult. But I have in there, Christine, I have like it's defined, but it stops. So it's like, you know how the line comes through and it stops. It's not complete. And then I think it's a black line, and then there's a red line, and it's not complete. But I wasn't quite sure what that meant, but I had a feeling that had a lot to do with why.
So I have two different things to say about that. So one, I just did this amazing energy work. My friend is getting certified up in Asheville, doing like all this meridian work, like learning about the meridians and how to heal pain, working with meridians. And I am so fortunate to be her guinea pig when she has to practice. She's like, can you come over? And so she balanced meridians out for me and everything. And she was telling me, and I'm asking you because you're talking about how you dream and how you are, you know, you're other places, and how you're out, you're flying when you're dreaming. And so do you do any practices when you wake up to ground yourself? Do you already have something to put into place? Because she did teach me this like 6-minute video. It's Donna Eden's, you know, like you just work through, like you start with tapping, you start doing this, and I can put it in the chat, but it starts with your meridians, and then we like cross our energies and bring our energies back in, and we do figure eights to pull our aura back in together. But it's really beautiful to, especially, and she says to do it in the morning to really help our energy with our vitality, our immune system, because like we're pushing some of the spleen points, and like all of these meridian ends are attached to an organ, right? And so if you are tapping, and like, let me tell you, my oh no, I'm not going to remember the central one up the central meridian was blocked, and I was like touching right here, which is the main like point. And if it's tender, there's toxins there. And so that's why we tap. We got to block out those toxins. Our meridian points, our energy points aren't able to do whatever. And so it's a really cool that she has this YouTube video. It's 11 minutes long on the YouTube, but once you know what the movements are, it's long because she's explaining it. But once you can go through it, you can do it in like 5 minutes. When you get up, you just ground yourself, you wake up. And so a lot of people who do travel while they're sleeping and have these dreams and maybe aren't even understanding need to realize when they wake up, you gotta reel yourself back in, right? And you gotta ground down. And then the second part of that would definitely be if you have that hanging gate, and so it doesn't connect all the way through. Remember, that energy can't get all the way there. So it does feel like a block until you know what that is. You're like, okay, I know that I have this gap, right? There's room there. It's not like it's blocked, but you just need to be intentional to bring it all the way up through, right? And so if we can learn what that channel is, so if you want to tell me what that energy is, and then I do want to let you know, I have so much to share about the lunar eclipse too, as opposed to human design, because human design, so everybody who's on this will get a sneak peek before being in the human design chat, because I usually wait to share this, and I was going to share it tomorrow, giving everybody a little bit of prep time, so that they could practice and prepare and get ready for the full moon on Friday. But there's definitely a whole piece about the gate of fulfillment. And so how everybody was talking about like just shedding, and you're really just trying to cleanse and to get rid of, and we are like holding on to these negative things, because if our ego takes over, it's going to take over that fulfillment energy, right? We're trying to find our place, trying to find our purpose. And so right now, like Angela said, be careful what you're thinking, because one side or the other is going to pull on it. And so if we can turn, and now that we know that, and if we can keep these good, positive thoughts, these hopeful thoughts on what we want to be, what we can do to fulfill our purpose, to fulfill ourselves, right? Because really our purpose is to be us. And so if we can start dreaming and imagining and doing it in that way, then we really are harnessing the energy the other way. Harley, come here, baby.
Hey, Harley.
Hey.
Hey.
En's leaving right now, and she gets a little separation anxiety. So she would love to chase after Luna. But so where do we begin? Should we start with the moon, or let's start with your block, maybe, Angela?
Oh, you want me to show you my chart? Want me to share it?
Yeah, if you
tell you the numbers. I had to put my glasses on because the numbers are small. All right. Let's see. Here it is. Can you see? Did I do it?
Yes, you did. We just need to zoom in just a little bit.
Zoom in a little. All right, let's see. Put this down here.
Unless you really kind of just tell me which one you're so about your emotional one. And so that's that 35-6. Oh, I can see
that. Yeah.
So is that
can you see it?
Talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, the 30, the 35, 30, the 35, 36, and then the 20, 57.
Okay. And so you do have, so the 35 to 36, so it's going to be difficult for you really to express your emotions, right? Because that's coming from our solar plexus. So that's the solar plexus talking about our now also where our truth is. Our truth and our emotions are coming from that. And then it's coming up to our throat. And so looking at what 36 is, I'm going to look at it via Karen's language, because we want to start talking about it in future. That's a good girl, right there. All right, so 36 is the gate of exploration. To not let boredom cause you to leap into chaos, to learn to stick with something long enough to become masterful, and to bear the fruits of the experience. And so then we have 35 as being the experience, to not let the experience lead to feeling bored or jaded, to have the courage to share what you know from your experience, to know which experiences are worth participating in, to not let your natural ability master anything keep you from being enthusiastic about learning about something new. And so interested, like what I'm kind of like really getting is like, because you don't have that 36 connected there, it's almost like some stories you don't want to tell because they might not have had this extravagant experience, right? It might not have been like something that you felt like is worthwhile in but remember, that's your perspective on what you think is worthwhile and what you think is enthusiastic or boring, right? Because that's what it's saying. And so for you, you might be like, well, I don't want to share that story. That's boring. But it actually might have that lesson, right? That nugget that really that person needed to hear. And so that might be where that block really is because you're like, well, you don't want to lie, right? We don't want to embellish. And so I am picturing like fisherman's story because I was just down at the dock. But, you know, we have these fisherman stories who they embellish their story and they're like, oh, I caught this huge fish because you know what? Fishing is a very meditative thing. If we think about it, it's being on the water. It's very calm. It's quote unquote can be very boring on the outside looking in, right? You're just sitting there. You don't even have to hold the pole for most of the time, but you're able to sit and be calm and meditate. And so for the people who are doing it, they're getting so much more pleasure than they can really explain, right? And so that's why I feel like they do embellish. And we're like, you don't want to tell somebody, well, I was out on the water for 6 hours. Well, did you catch anything? No, even though hell, for us in the spiritual world, we're like, hell, we would love 6 hours to sit and meditate. Jessie would sit in her bath for 6 hours if she didn't turn into a prune, right? You know? And so to learn though, to tell the story and not hold on to what you think is exciting or what you think is boring, because the ultimate truth about fishing is to honor the fact of being by yourself and being outside in nature. And so fishermen could just really share the love of being in nature and sitting on the and just sitting on the water and rocking with the water. There's so much beauty of why wouldn't you want to do that? I think that would probably sell fishing a lot better than you could catch this big fish, which is less likely that you're going to. So does that kind of help with that one?
Oh my goodness, yes it does. And now it explains why sometimes I feel like when I do dive into a story where I feel it's not, you know, like got a lot of meat to it and people won't get anything from it, I'll add humor to it to make it seem like it's, you know, funny and catch their attention. Now I know why I do that. Oh my goodness. Or sometimes I'll say, oh, they won't be interested in that little thing. You know what I mean?
Tell it. And then you'll start and then you lose and that's the other thing. It says don't lose the enthusiasm. Don't start and then read people's faces and be like, oh, they must not care. And then just dwindle it out or just stop. And so learn to listen to when you got that pull and just be like, no, I'm going to speak my truth. And if we can just, you know, you're connected enough that you'll really stop when you feel like, okay, I really shouldn't tell this story. But there are times that you start it, honor it, and let it play out and see, because we don't know that other person's path. You know, you don't know how it's going to help anybody in the audience.
And I have stopped short. I have stopped short and cut stories short because I will see someone's expression, not because the spirit told me to. Because they'll tell me, all right, that's it. Or actually, I can't think of anything else. It actually literally, and that's it. And you'll hear me say sometimes, and I'm done. Right. But yeah, sometimes I've literally took the initiative and cut it short because of the expression I saw on the other person's face. Yeah. And it lost. Wow, that is, wow. Yeah,
and so you have that urge. So now stay with that intention. Say, you know what, this is story. I'm being told to tell this story. There's a reason. Somebody's got to hear it the way it's going to play out. And maybe people just need, and some, like I said, even like with the fisherman or even with any other kind of journey, you know, we're going to have our lulls. And so sometimes when you can just share a story of, you know what, I tried it. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. You know, sometimes those stories of indifference are the ones that people don't share, but they're the things that happen probably the most, right? There's not anything that was really bad that happened to you. A lot of these trial and errors and all of this, like, it's not going to be the most detrimental thing because as we get up and we try it again. But those, we usually share our trauma, right? The real hard stuff, or we share the really good stuff. Mm-hmm. Like the average, yeah, what we do just to be, you know, so. Yeah.
But the middle of the road, we're like, And I find it interesting. I found that I actually take and avert my eyes from people if I have to tell a story and I don't want to connect to how they look about it. Like I'll avert my eyes and finish the story to say it, so I'll get through it. I just realized I do that. I just realized I go like
I've realized
that,
I've started
so I can
that
say.
with the pandemic. I started to do that because I chose to stop wearing a mask for a good while, and so I had to avert my eyes because I didn't want to read people's. And I feel like that a lot of the fear of, if you're trying, no matter which end you're trying to be on, even if you are like, I feel like a lot of people have just naturally have been averting their eyes just because it's being harder and harder to stand in your truth right now, to because there's so much judgment around everything. I don't know, like that's just how I feel. I just feel like I notice that though, and I don't like that, like, because that's the soul, right? We want to connect to that.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Christine, it's funny that you say that, or that you said that, as far as sending your truth, because I feel that's what this month is about. And I've been doing so many different guided meditations to just ignite my throat chakra so I can continue to stand in my truth. So, and Angela, I'm the same too. As far as when I talk to people, I close my eyes. What I've been doing lately is closing my eyes. And if you notice also, even on our lives, I mean, like right now, sometimes when I talk, I don't look at you guys. I close my eyes so I can stay in the moment, so I can listen to my guides, so I can flow, so I don't allow your faces or my perception of what I think you're thinking
Oh my God, that's the other one.
to prevent me from just speaking my truth, you know? So I'm all on that.
Now I understand why my guys shut the cameras down yesterday while we were doing some healing. And you know, I knew it was that, but at the time I was like, "What? Who did that? Who shut off my camera?" And we were doing some healing, Christina, for lunchtime, and I closed my eyes to, you know, to hear more, and I just kept going and going and going and going and going, and out of nowhere, I opened my eyes and my camera shut off. So I was like, "Okay, well, that happened." So I'm enjoying this so much.
And doing a lot of grounding has helped. Please, everyone, continue to ground yourself and calm your mind. Breathe, just breathe. And you're going to come out of this, wow, just like, whoo, awesome sauce, manifesting beast, everything. Watch, the tables will turn in a positive manner, you know, and keep some positivity, all right? Think about positive thoughts and light and love and health for everyone, all right? Send that out and you will win over these thoughts that are going to come in. And not every negative thought is yours, but they're out there. This energy is vying for attention. So this comes with what we were speaking about yesterday. Know thyself. Knowing yourself, all right? Some things that have come, I'll go, that don't belong to me, you know? But some things can come pretty close. The ones that are really close come quick and fast. They come quick and fast. The other energies will try to test and see, can I get in there? Can I get there? But we all know what to do. He's like, no, don't even try that. So do that. Remember to continue to ground yourself. Something to answer what Christine was asking, she said, do I have a grounding when I come from out of dreams? Yeah, I have different ones. One is the one when I want to get connected back. I ground my feet. I swing my feet out of my bed and I ground right where I am. Another one, because sometimes that type of grounding will take me totally, that won't take me totally out, but it'll take me from that dream into another spot. I can actually jump through doors. And then, so another one is I didn't even know, Christina, I'm happy that you shared about the meridians because I didn't even know what I was doing. So since I was a child, when I get up, I do this. There's certain spots I just go ahead and touch. And I keep doing it, and I go to, and I just do it naturally. I thought it was me waking myself up, and I will just do this.
So keep crossing. Cross is great. Like, especially this, like the back of the neck, and you kind of put some pressure and you cross to the hip. And this is a wonderful calming, and it's also bringing back, and then also figure eights. And so figure eights is a great way to bring energy back together. And so when you figure eight up and around your aura, you're bringing your energy back in, you're kind of pulling it in to ground you, to center you. And so yes, and touching all of those is like our lymph nodes too. A lot of the times that's turning on the lymph nodes, which is then then detoxifying all of those meridian points. So you don't necessarily have to be touching certain points, but we have lymph nodes all down here. And so I'll do this in yoga with a lot of my students, and especially a lot of elderly, especially if you're not being touched a lot. If you're not we should be caressing ourselves, we should be touching ourselves, dry brushing, so good to wake up the lymphatic system. But like even just a little light massages here and in our inner thighs, like from our knee to like our hip, there's like all of these lymph nodes that help detox all of our toxins out of the body, you know. And so, and they don't work unless we turn them on. Like we actually have to do something to physically turn them on and to activate them. But I wanted to talk about what you were saying about authentic self, because that is this gate energy. We have all been talking about truth. And so the lunar eclipse, so we have 2 days before it. And so the moon is going to be in Taurus, like you said, but the gate is going to be the 8th gate, which is the gate of fulfillment. And so this is asking us to explore what we need to release and let go in order to stay aligned with our intentions. So big one, if you are not an intention setter, this is a huge one. And it's really funny, I did not read this, but I had posted this yesterday asking in our family, like, what do intentions mean to you? Intentions to me change everything. People are so stuck into having a habit. They're like, we got to create a habit. We want to do this habit. A habit, if you think about it, you are creating something that you do subconsciously. Why would you want to do that? You're not putting anything into it. You're doing it subconsciously. You don't even know what you're doing. What you want to do is create a ritual, right? A ritual is taking something and putting the intention into it, even if it's your coffee or your morning tea or whatever you make for yourself. If you put the intention of, I am making this to love and warm up and wake up my body, even that 30 seconds while you're stirring your spoon and you say that this is going to love and wake up and warm up my body, that is an intention. You're speaking it into the liquid, and then you're going to drink it. And now you have a ritual that you are mindful of what you're doing, and you can still do it every single day, right? And so think about your intentions, and also think about your habits. And are they habits that you need? Are they habits that you just created because society told you should get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and go for a run? Well, if you don't work until 10 o'clock and you were up until midnight because that's when you meditate and your guides talk to you, why do you need to get up at 6 a.m. if that's what you hate? You know, like, what are you doing for yourself? And so this 8th gate brings a deep need to express our authentic selves. So this is why we've all been going into the vortex. We've all been disappearing. It's like, we love the community piece, but there are pieces that we do need to do on our own, right? We need to understand that we need that quiet time. And so the fulfillment of this gate is fulfillment of expression of who you truly are, not fulfillment of objects or things or anything else. This full moon and the eclipse energy gives us the power to release anything in our personal story that is blocking our authentic self-expression. This energy can feel pressurized, making us worry that we are failing, our life purpose isn't working. So we've all been crying over here. We're feeling the pressure. What happens to coal when it gets pressurized? That diamond comes, right? The powerful full moon invites you to remember that you, all capitals here, you are your life purpose. It is not what you do. It is who you be. You being the full authentic expression of who you are is designed to be your contribution. That is designed in the cosmics, in the stars. You are made up the way you are to just be who you are. And the more we all keep I feel like this is why we're like kind of having this explosion. So many people were trying to be other things, and we're exploding as a whole, right? We're rupturing, we're getting tense, we're like shaking, we're warming up, and things are not, because we're trying to all become that. We were all trained to be conditioned, right? We were trained. And so now we're shaking the cage. We're rattling up. We're getting ready. We're pressurizing. We just shook the soda bottle. Something's going to happen. There has never been anybody like you on this planet before, and there never, ever will. You are a once in a lifetime cosmic event. And this full moon is the one that is telling you to let go of anything that is not letting you be. And so I'll let you speak because I got a whole little bit more. So we got
Hey, let me ring my bell before you go on. You know it. You know it. You can keep going. No need to talk. Go ahead.
So here's going to be our challenge, though. Our challenge is to learn, how can we express ourselves authentically? How can we wait for the right people to see our value of who you are, and to share yourself with them vulnerably with all of your heart? I'm about to cry because I really feel like what I have just started to do is, this is like speaking to me, like my body is like, I'm just feeling all of it. And so to learn to trust that you are a unique expression with the divine and a purpose and a path, to find that path and to walk it without self-judgment. And so it's not even about the outside on this moon. This isn't about, we're not even concerned anymore about others. This is about what are we releasing that we have been judging ourselves for, not about anybody else. And so that's the ultimate challenge. And so to master this is to push the edges, push the boundaries of your authentic expression, and to realize that you being you is your authentic self and your life purpose. And so you can be unbalanced by feeling panicked, disconnected, thinking that your life purpose is something that you do. And so if you are feeling that pressure and that cry, like, release it, right? Let the tears come, release it out. Say, this is an old conditioning. This is something old that I thought that I had to do. When you feel worried that, oh my God, I didn't finish my teaching career. Okay, right? My mom is mad at me that I went to school and she paid for my college and I went and I taught 1 year, and I'm crying and I'm feeling like, oh, should I go back to teaching? I'm going to let it go and be like, no, I'm crying because that's my old story. That's my old story. I am still a teacher. I still learn stuff at college. There was a purpose for me to go to college, even though I'm not doing what college told me I was going to do. I made my connections. I learned the people that I met who I needed to meet. And that's the thing that is like, so many people are like, well, I'm not doing what I did with my degree. Well, you know what? You learned 4 years of like what you played by their rules. That was part of learning that you can do it. And same thing with our military friends. That's the same, like, you were learning to see how strong you can be to live by those other things. And whether you stay in or whether you get out, you learned what you needed to learn while you were there, right? And so, all right, so where are my journalers? You ready for your writing assignment tonight? All right. Do you feel safe in vulnerability? And so this is huge because that's that judgment. If you cannot be vulnerable, and there are so many people like, I don't want to look at myself. That's why it's easier to point, because we got to turn and look inside. And so if you don't feel safe in being vulnerable, what experiences have you had that caused you to feel unsafe expressing yourself? And so why do you not want to be vulnerable? Did something happen that you got shut down when you were who you truly are? Now, can you rewrite those stories? Can you go back? Can you talk to that child? Can you talk to that person and go back and rewrite those stories? What would uncompromising your life look like? Boom. Like, what would uncompromised your life look like? Like, does anyone know that? Because I know we got mamas. I know, like, I mean, how can you try to uncompromise? I don't know. I mean, I feel like I compromise everything in my life, and I don't even have children. And so, you know, that's a big one. Uncompromising doesn't mean, you know, that's putting those boundaries in. What do you need to remove to make your life more authentic? And what is one bold action you can take right now that would allow you to express who you are more authentically?
Wow.
Boom. And I just did those.
She went boom. Yeah. I
Those
felt the vibration of that.
Feeling it about that. And so I don't know, I've been feeling called a while for kind of downsizing my social media networks, right? And I kind of getting out of doing all the stories and all of the stuff. And I've been realizing I want to change it a little bit. I want to show up when I want to show up with the people I want to show up, and that's what it's saying. And so my bold action was like, I'm not doing my stories anymore. I don't want to. And I know that that's what everybody told me to do. And my network mind, I'm like, there's so much of my conditioning. I'm like, if I want to make it big online, and there's part of me that's like, we're having a really hard time, because all I see is like, I want my van, and I want to be traveling, and I want my classes online, and I want to be doing like connecting and doing this online. But I'm like, I know that there's other ways that I can do this. And so if you want some human design, you got to get on you got to get in my inbox, you got to get on my something, because Deanna and I are going to be opening up at 12 o'clock, doing a fantastic live Zoom or live chart reading. And so we've been doing the Q&As and stuff like that, but I think that it's going to be powerful too for people to do a full, we're going to do a 45-minute, like just diving into her chart, and then we'll open up for Q&A. But if we can go deep and have an example of one, and how we can kind of connect some of the stuff together, even just looking at that one piece on Angela's chart today, when we pulled that up, if we could just see how we flowed it to another piece, to another piece, to another piece, that would help create a little bit more fluidity, right? We're trying to create that flow. We're trying to create that ease of our energy going round and round. And so we're going to start doing that. And then on the Monday, the 22nd, we'll be doing Life Purpose, which I'm so excited for. And talking about authentic self, I just signed up, and we'll be getting trained on, literally, it's called How to Live with Integrity, using our human design, and really how to dive in. And so that will be our months on the calendar, on our UA calendar, and reach out to any of these beautiful women if they have talked to you at all about this fantastic portal. I'm going to be dropping a bunch, like, this is where I want to put my energy in, is opening up these classes, coming on to the events when people invite me on. So if you want me to be a guest, then awesome. But really jumping in and educating and doing some Zooms and doing that. And so that's my bold action, and it's scaring the crap out of me, because I know you're all on Facebook right now, and I'm like, I'm not my story. But I want to see what happens, because then I know that I don't get in the scroll hole. And the reason I'm doing this is because I get stuck in comparison, and I cannot be as, I don't want to say, like, I don't know, like I cannot separate myself enough to make it very much about business and then my life, because I don't really want it to be business and life. I want it to be all together. And so I need to be able to live my life a little more. And a girl that I worked with said something to me. She's like, I don't even have a hobby other than Instagram. And she's like, this 22-year-old girl. And I was like, I am so thankful that I grew up in an older generation, and that I can do other things, but I've realized that I'm not doing those other things because I get stuck. And I'm like, you know what, if I can, I did my fruit feast, and I cut out my sugar, I did a detox. And so this is kind of like my detox, and I got to come back. I got to come back to myself and do some sacred baths like Jessie does. I'm like, oh, I could do that. And then what do? I'm like, oh, I get stuck listening to Telegram, and everybody else do these beautiful baths, and then I don't do it. So remember, everybody, we have to do it. Like, listening to us is fantastic, but you got to get your butt in the bath.
We really do. That's one of the things that because so I learned the hard way. That just didn't happen out of nowhere, and boom. So the hard way, I say, or the human hard way, is that my life was completely shut down, and it was either do these rituals, survive, or do not do this ritual and go back into the world and be, the same person over and over and over and over and over. So I had to like really surrender to the process and surrender to all of it, because if not, then, and now I get to see so much of the joy, because now I get to do both. I get to, enjoy my bath. I get to come on here. I get to do all of these beautiful things and all of the projects that are working out after this break that I took is going to be even more, like, I can't even explain it in words. Like, I've seen a lot of it, but I can't even explain it. And it is not meant to be explained until it actually comes out. That's what my guys are telling me now. So yeah, show up for your bath, and completely take off the technology. And I know for a lot of us, that's a lot. That's like, oh my God, how do I give that up? That's like my bread. But you know what? Like my dad told me the other day, even the person that owns the company, if something happens to that person, the show goes on. So that is the same thing with us. The show goes on, the companies go on, these people will go on. So please show up for yourself and do these amazing things that we bring to the table, because they will be, yeah. And time check, yay!
Oh yes, it is 11:45 EST. Yes, we are at that mark for 45 minutes. Can we have, because I said that at 11:45 that I will actually ask for a beautiful card to be pulled for today. Christine, your choice. What do you feel? What do you feel? Yes, she would like this.
I'm gonna do a fairy. I'm gonna do a fairy card. Can I pull two? I want to do a fairy and a human design. I'm gonna do two real quick. So yes. I want to pull in the full moon too. So I want to talk a little bit with that energy, the gate of fulfillment. So what's another energy that we can really pull in, and then we'll do a fairy. And so just to kind of help with, our authentic self, probably maybe a little care, a little nurturing. Let's see where else we can really kind of focus on.
I need that. I know everyone else does too. Yes, care and nurturing. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, expansion. We get, I mean, why we are here though. And I said this morning, but this is like, even let's talk about it in the full moon of expansion for ourselves, for our self-expression. And so, right, like, don't put yourself in a box. Like, what makes you feel good? You don't have to do anything your way. Like, even when I was talking about this whole social media thing, Nicole and I had a fantastic call yesterday, and she was like, Christine, nothing's crazy. You never know, right? Like, why am I putting it, like, I could, still network it with all of fantastic people, and I don't have to use that. There's so many other ways that I can connect, right? And so expansion is letting our mind and the possibilities come out and sharing those stories. And so as you're rewriting and as you're journaling and you're looking at that, maybe those areas of where somebody might have put you down for your authentic self, was it because you were trying to be expansive? A lot of the times, like, especially when you're a kid, you're like, I want to be an astronaut. And you're like, okay, well, rationally, there's only about like 0.00% of people become an astronaut, right? It's that and put you down, like, let the expansion come. And so looking at that, and is that why you don't want to be vulnerable? Because you do have these wonderful ideas, because you are always traveling. Is that why you don't want to share? And so looking into expansion, looking into possibilities, and how that can either help blossom your authentic self, or maybe is that why you don't even want to be your authentic self, because somebody told you along the lines, well, girls don't do that, and you're like, F that, girls can do that, I'm gonna and so maybe it could be something just like that. And it's not, remember, it's not whoever's fault who told us. They just are doing the best they can, because I know that I still have some travel with family, and so it's not their fault. It's just our opportunity to rewrite the story and to say that that's not our story anymore. And so let's see what our little fairies have for some full moon, a little play, right? We need a little play, light during this full moon, a little positivity. Ooh, hummingbird dreams. Look how beautiful. I don't even know if I have pulled this card before, but hummingbirds, I do know hummingbirds from another deck. So powerful, so important. Such a reminder that the smallest thing can make such a huge ripple effect. Also, their wings I can't remember how fast they flutter, but it's something unbelievable. And so it's called the smallest. The smallest. Even though who seem the least to have their dream, the tiniest and the weakest have their place in the universe, just as we all do. They have a special job that only they can do, a place that only they can fill. There is no one being that is more important and more worthy than any other, regardless of what form they are in and how they choose to express themselves in life. We marvel at the tiniest hummingbird, how it can move its wings so rapidly, how it can hover and then fly off in a split second. What strength and agility it has, a divine form. It's hard to believe that something so tiny can bring so much beauty and wonder. If you are feeling small and insignificant, remember your uniqueness. Only shoes you have to fill are your own, and they fit you just fine. There are no insignificant people, none who are less whole than any other. Eliminate prejudices and judgment, whether they're cast upon yourself or another. If you feel that someone is not up to your standards, then realize that that is you projecting onto them. Change your perception and see them as they are, a reflection of God's energy, just as you are. Spirit expresses through all of us in its own way. It is not for us to second guess it. If you are feeling less than whole, remember your divine birth and come back to comfort, knowing that you are divinely perfect. Pursue your dreams and know that you are divinely guided. Have faith in your dreams and your ability. It's okay to have faith in other people's dreams. Help and encourage them to believe in themselves. So take time to notice the smallest things. Wow.
Amazing. Oh, praise Allah. I'm so happy.
I need to ring the bell. I'm sorry.
Yes, please, 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 please.
I think that plays in beautifully with the gate energy that we're going to be coming into. Everything we've been talking about, even talking about the story that Angela had and how we started talking about that gate in her chart, saying that nothing's boring, nothing's, nothing's too of a story to tell. If you have a story and you're feeling called to say it, then say it. It doesn't matter. And maybe someone might not get it right who's in front of you, but on other planes, remember, we are limitless beings. And so you're telling it to your higher self in another planet right now or another plane, and you just needed to hear it. Don't pause that.
So that's not pause. No more pause.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Love it. Oh my goodness, everyone. And the fact that she brought in the hummingbird, I want to share something I heard the other day. When you're doing a meditation on your breathing, try to do a humming. Do a hum. I do have one that I will share. Hum to set that vibration. Last night I was and do it to the end of your breath all the way. All right. Someone I know who I heard it from a few days ago said when you're doing it, do it. Thank you. I knew I heard it from someone. Do a humming vibration. Do a humming vibration. Yes, it was Jessie.
And the way that you heard it was that's what I used to get myself to home. My guy said use the beats.
Told you.
To go back home, use the beats. And today I noticed how important that was when I was on my walk with my husband, because right around where I started the beat, there was a bee home. And I didn't look up because I was looking down and I was in my surrender mode. And my guys were just listen. And one of my guys said, just use the humming to go back home. And today, one of my, it was I was told to just stay quiet only when I was spoken to speak. Other than that, it was just silence. But when I got to the place there, I looked up and I'm like, is that what I think it is? And my daughter, I will have a picture for tomorrow to share into the call. We'll share more on that. But yeah, it was just all the way. My guides should just keep humming, just keep humming, just keep humming, and the bees will come to guide you home. And that's when all of the other signs just kept coming in, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like. So yeah, go ahead and you know I just love all the synchronicities, all the amazingness that our guys are bringing together for us, Christine, because you did not know that what you spoke today was part of our healing process that we did on lunchtime, but so much so that it's a lot. But I'm sure that all of this will get explained and all of it later on in our journey. I'm just so excited that we get to do this together and that we said yes and we came along and we're going forward, and it's just yeah.
I know, right? No, I know, right? Oh well, we're at the almost at the hour mark. Last words, everyone. Christine, what last words would you or word would you like to share with everyone today?
To really like to remind people, remember, like, I'm changing the world by becoming me, right? Like, if there's nothing more true than that, like, we are who we are, not what we do, right? And so just be you. That is your purpose. And so come back to that and journal a little bit this full moon, for sure.
Yes, for
And
sure.
join in 5 minutes to learn about Deanna on her chart. And so raise your hand in the comments down below if you need the Zoom link. I'm gonna drop that right now.
Awesome. Queen D, our sun goddess.
I'm just cheesing today, okay?
Oh, you're sunshine.
Oh, Christine was asking about how many beats or flaps the hummingbirds, and it says, you know me, you asked a question. It's in my human design chart. We'll be talking about that. You said a question, I quickly would look it up. So the average is about 80 per second flaps. That's the record, is 80. So yeah. So yes. I love hummingbirds. They're so magical.
They're beautiful.
Okay, my last words is you better be on the next Zoom with me and Christine where I'll be talking about my chart. That's my last words. And like she said, drop it in the chat if you need the link, okay? I'm calling you out. I love you though.
The sun goddess has spoken.
I'm your best friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your best friend. I'm going to call you out. I better see you.
Oh my goodness. It has been spoken.
Right.
Jessie, my beautiful moon goddess.
I said my last word, but then Spirit was like, just tell them you love them, girl. Just tell them you love them.
There we go.
So we love you so much.
Yes.
Don't forget to show up for yourself, and we will see you in Dee's call because we will be there.
We will be there. We will be there
as a pack to learn together.
Awesome. Everyone, we pray that you all continue to have a blessed day full of love and light. Remember, show up for yourself. Continue to show up every day. And my last word is take your finger off that pause button. Be yourself. Let yourself shine. Be free. Flow. Be you. Be you. Love you all dearly. And we will see you all on the Zoom call. Don't make the sun goddess come after you. I'm just saying, not a pretty sight. That's all I'm saying. See you all tomorrow. Love you too. Peace.